Well, hey there everyone, and welcome back to another of our video devotions in the book of Romans. We are nearing the end of the book of Romans. We're going to be looking at chapter 15 today, and there's just a lot of stuff there in chapter 15 that we just can't and don't have the time to really spend in a short segment like this. And so I just want to key in on one thought that Paul had here, that when he was writing this really had no idea what was going to transpire in the years to come. And so in chapter 15, Paul writes to the Roman Christians and talks a little bit about his ministry and his calling to the Gentiles, the calling to bring the gospel message to those who were far from God and didn't have a great relationship with God, and some of the great things that came from that. And then Paul writes something really interesting, and I want you to think about this today. He writes to the Christians in Rome about his desire to come and see them, this desire to come and visit them and do ministry with them in Rome. And his heart was set that this is what God was going to allow him to do. And you'll see that in this reading today. And so in chapter 15, I want to just read a couple of verses, verse 23 through 25. And so Paul writes this, and he says, "But now that there is no more place for me to work in these regions, and since I have been longing for many years to visit you, I plan to do so when I go to Spain. I hope to see you while passing through and to have you assist me on my journey there, after I have enjoyed your company for a while. Now, however, I am on my way to Jerusalem in the service of the Lord's people there." And so Paul says that he believes that his ministry in this region around Jerusalem and Palestine area was kind of winding down. Their missionary ventures had gone about as far as they could in that area. And Paul realized, I need to go westward. I need to head towards Spain. And I'm going to travel to Spain. I'm going to do ministry there. But on the way, he tells the Christians in Rome, I want to stop by and see you guys. I want to encourage you. I want to minister to you. And I want you to be part of my ministry and supporting me. And so Paul had this great plan, this great missionary movement and vision for what he's going to do in Spain and what he's going to do in Rome as well with the Christians and churches there. But Paul says something very interesting. He says, on my way, that's what I'm going to do. But first of all, right now, he says in verse 25, I'm on my way to Jerusalem, where I'm going to do ministry there. The ironic thing is, Paul had no idea what was going to take place. His plans were to go to Spain and visit Rome on the way. But as he travels to Jerusalem, if you read in the book of Acts, you find that when Paul gets to Jerusalem, trouble meets him there. Paul is arrested in Jerusalem, spends some time in prison there. He's finally going to be shipped to speak before the emperor. He's going to come before Caesar, and on the way there's a shipwreck and there's all these different problems. And Paul eventually does get to Rome, but he doesn't get there as a missionary, free to do what he wants. He comes as a prisoner. And I say that because sometimes plans don't go the way we want in life. Sometimes we have our own ideas and our own dreams of what we want life to be and what we believe it's going to become, and we fully believe that God is going to bless those ideas because on paper they look great. They look great plans. They look like they're going to do great things in ministry and they're going to change lives, but not always do those plans come true. But even when plans don't come true the way we desire, even when things don't always work exactly how we want them to work, it doesn't mean that God's not part of that. It doesn't mean that God's not active in those things. And in this story here, we see that Paul does end up going to Rome, but not as a free person, but as a prisoner. And when he arrives as a prisoner, he's able to do some incredible ministries that were not able to be predicted by Paul to begin with. And so I just want to encourage you to think through, how is it that you respond to adversity? How is it that you respond when your plans don't go according to your agenda? When things go a little sideways, or when the rug gets pulled out from under you, when the doctor calls, or when the boss says you're no longer going to be employed here, what is your confidence in? So make plans with the Lord, but also understand that the Lord's ways are not always our ways. And sometimes, even through difficult seasons and even through painful experiences, God has even more planned and that He's going to do through our life if you stay faithful to him. And that's exactly what Paul did, and we see great ministry happen out of the life of Paul, even when he was in prison. So hopefully that can encourage you, and you'll be a blessing wherever God takes you in life. God bless. We'll see you next time.